So, let's go to the official comment period. Can we flip to the official comment period? And this is what I'd like you to do. Go up to the podium and now announce your name slowly and clearly enough where Christine can understand where your name is and put it down into print. If you have an unusually spelled name, you might want to spell it out, just so this, because it becomes part of the official record. And then go ahead and make a comment, and your comment can include questions, that's fine. And then that'll become part of the official record for the record of decision when a final remedy is chosen. And that's really the core of what this meeting is about. Does that sound good?
Yeah.
All right, so go ahead, raise your hand and then go ahead and go to the podium. Yes, please.
I just want to.
Okay, now, and again,
Andrea.
just, and then you say your comment, the Navy then, we respectfully listen to it, right? It goes down into the record, and you get a response in the record of decision. Okay.
I'm just desperately trying to remember my question. That's why I wanted to continue on. You said that in the 90s was the last time that you tested for evidence of radiological contamination in Site 24? And you were using the standard of the day?
Specifically, when any training facility is shut down, it will be shut down according to the standards or protocols when that facility is shut down. So you could look up when the training ended in that facility and when we did the testing after it was shut down, correct?
So you were training people in radiological handling up until the 90s in that building on this site, 24?
I don't have the exact date when the operations went by. We can look that up in the HRA, but
You're guessing then, so around the 90s. But what
Correct.
was the standard of the day for testing?
it would have been whatever the Navy's protocol would have been.
Is that written
Don't know
down anywhere
specifically.
that I can look at?
It would have been generally described in the HRA of what they did to actually make sure that all the sources were removed, et cetera.
Can you point me to that document?
It's in the information repository.
And I believe it's online.
Can you help me find that?
And it's also online.
Yeah, if you go to the website, it's the historical radiological assessment. Yeah.
What building are you talking about?
What the other 342, 343.
Yes.
Huh? Building 42 and 43?
342, 343, the ones that Danielle
Yeah,
was
Andrea,
talking
we
about.
can go into the details later, right?
Okay.
And we'll show you how to
Thank you.
find that. Sure, you're welcome. Okay, next public comment. Another official comment?
I have one more.
Well,
Anyone else want to talk?
please, yeah,
I have one.
let's see, another, if you don't mind, okay.
Thanks.
Is this on?
Yes, just focus.
Ah, there we
When
go.
you see me,
Okay.
there you are.
Okay, I didn't make a count. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm Carol Harvey. I'm a citizen of San Francisco. I've lived here 20 years. I live in the Marina District. I live across the bay. The bay water affects me. What's happening on Treasure Island affects me because the people on Treasure Island are San Franciscans too. They're my neighbors. I care about my neighbors a lot. These are good people. I noticed that there are, I haven't made a count, I wish I had. How many people do you think are here tonight? Maybe 20? And this is a record of decision that's going to be based on public comments, and I'm concerned about the few number of public that's actually in the room. And what has been the attempt to reach people? I knew that there was going to be some kind of meeting here on the 11th because you and I talked, but Andy was kind enough to send me a message saying that this meeting was happening. This isn't a RAB meeting, right? This is not a RAB meeting?
No.
No. Okay. In order to have an effective public comment, it seems to me there ought to be a lot more people of the public from the public. And it seems to me that, that stands to reason there. How many people live on Treasure Island? How many residents are here? Something like
5 or 6.
How much?
5 or 6 look like.
5 or 6 residents from Treasure Island are here tonight. What is the population of Treasure Island? 2,000 people?
6,000, 8,000 or more when you count babies and dogs.
Okay.
The program people share, Stars of Prayer shares the whole program, Water House program, so we don't know with their babies, cousins, aunties.
Okay.
It got bigger, it was only 5 at first, it's more about 8,000.
About 8,000, and that's not counting the people who work here. They're part of the public too. The people who work here are affected by it as well. So I really would respectfully request that, and just say that if you're going to have an adequate public comment, more people should be at these meetings, more people should be informed about the meetings. What sort of process is there for that? I mean, it seems to me that people ought to have email. They have Nextdoor is the communication system here on the island. Was this announced on Nextdoor to people?
No,
Yeah, it was.
Was it announced on
Well,
Nextdoor? Okay.
pretty understated,
Yeah, it was understated on
yeah.
Nextdoor.
But only about, not even 200 people are signed up to Nextdoor, and there's thousands of people living here.
And so it seems to me there ought to be some kind of mail outreach for a meeting like this. Because how can you have a valid public comment if the public, 5 or 6 members of the public are here? And then also, in terms of how the regulators made these decisions, to do a quick run-through in this format, this is too fast for people to really digest it and understand it, and all those people who didn't come didn't get a chance to even see it. So I'd like to know if there could be some way that the regulations could be made clear to people, and we could find out how the regulators apply the regulations, and we could have some way to double check on that, some way to understand what the regulations are and what the protocols are, and how they follow these regulations, so we can decide for ourselves to make an intelligent response in a public comment. All of these things are very, very opaque, and I honestly don't. I've looked at the regulations, I've done a lot of research, but people in the community don't have time for that. They have children, they have families. There needs to be further clarification of all of this, I think. And I would strongly suggest that this be looked into, because 5 or 6 members of the community is not an adequate public comment, in my humble opinion. Thank you.
Thank you.
Andrea,
Any other official comments on the Site 12 proposed plan?
Here, you can give that to her.
Site
I have
12,
one.
excuse me.
I do.
Proposed plan.
Andrea McHenry again. And regarding this slide, with the different alternatives, I noticed it goes from 0 to about $4 million, and you've chosen a plan that costs about $2 million. And I don't know what slide number it is. That's the one
that's
though.
it.
Yes.
And right in the beginning, when you were kind of giving us a general picture, you said that this is the plan that you had the least number of problems with. And I just wondered, what are some of the problems that you have with this solution, in your opinion?
Thank you. We'll answer that in response to the summary. Thank you for that comment.